Hello everybody, today I have part 7 of I'm Yours. It's played by Sungha Jung. This will probably be the second to last part. There's maybe one more, maybe two after this, but hopefully just one. But this one starts on measure 108. You start with this. Not bad. You have the open G, open B, and 7th on the high E. Strum those down. And then just move down to the 3rd of the high E and do the same thing. Then on 109 you have, again, not too bad, you have open B and 3rd, or open G, sorry, and 3rd on the B. Hit those two together. And then you have back to the 7th on the high E with open G and B. So the first chord you played. So 108 and 109. Okay, now 110. You have this open low E, 7th on the G and 10th on the B. Sometimes I also hit the open D string. Kind of do a more full strum, but on the tabs it's just those 3 notes. Then go down to the 7th of the B. And that's it for 110, so it sounds like this. Okay, now on to 111, you have, start with the 7th of the G, and then go back to the original shape you had with the open E, 7th on the G, and 10th on the B. Hit those 3, and as you do so, slide up. I use my pinky to slide up to the 11th on the B, and then slide back down to the 10th. So that's 111. It sounds like this. Okay, now 112 you have, start with the 7 on the G and 8 on the B and hit those two together. Then hit the 9th on the A string, and then the 8th on the B again. Okay, so far from 108 we have this. Okay, now we have 113, which starts with the 9 on the G, and then the 8th on the B. And that's it for 113. Pretty easy. Then 114. Start with barring the 5th fret. Well, I guess you could just use multiple fingers. I don't know which one I do. I might just go between. So you have the 5th on the A, D, and G. And then you have the 5th on the G and B, and then 8th on the high E. So 115 sounds like this. It kind of continues from 114, so you really go. And 115 is, you still have the 5th on the G and the B. You have 7th on the high E. Go down to the 5th. Then you have 8 on the B. 5th on the E again, and back to the 8th of the B. So with 114, it sounds like this. Okay, then that whole thing repeats again. Okay, and that brings us to 124, which sounds like this. This little bit has already been taught before, but I'm going to go over it quickly because there are a few small differences. So you start with the open A string, you slap, then you have the open G string, followed by the open E, and then the open D. Slap again, and then open G. So that's 124. Then you have 125, which sounds like this. Again, you've seen this part before, so it shouldn't be terribly difficult. You have the open A, followed by the open D. You slap, and then you have the open G. You hammer on to the second while you hit the open A, and then hit the open B. You slap, and then you have third on the B. So. Then you have 126. Again, you've seen this. Open low E, slap, 4th on the D. You have open low E and 3rd pull off to open on the B. So. And then slap while you hit the 3rd on the B and pull off. Okay? Now you have 3rd on the B and open low E to start 27. Hit the high E, open, and then low E again, open. Open B, 2nd on the G, slap, and then open B string again. So 127 sounds like this. Oh, forgot to slap. Like that. Okay, 28 sounds like this. Start with the 2nd on the low E, slap, 2nd on the D, and then 2nd on the low E with the open B, followed by the 3rd on the B, slap, and then 1st on the B. Okay, 29 sounds like this. Start with the 2nd on the low E, open B, 2nd on the G, back to the B string, pull off from 2nd to open on the G string, slap, and then have the open G string again. And here's where the difference comes in, so I guess I could have only taught this part, but oh well. You have the 5th on the A, you slap, and you have, so 5th on the A, slap, 5th on the A again, followed by a strum of the open G, 3rd on the B, and open E. And then hit those two, the B string and the A string, with 3 and 5 respectively. So. And that's 130. So that whole part, like 124 through 130, sounds like this. Okay, now 131 sounds like this. You pull off from 1 to open on the B string, then you go 2 open on the G string, you slap. You have the open B and open G and B. You slap, just open G. So 131 sounds like this. Okay, now 132 sounds like this. You have the open A and the open B together. You slap, have the open G, and then hit those two strings again together, the A and the B string. So you slap, and then you do the same thing heading into 133. So it's just that pattern repeats 4 times, starting in 131. I guess it only repeats 3 times, because then on 133 you have, which is the open G string followed by the open A string, and then you have open G and third on the B. You slap, then you have the open G again. So that leads on to 134, which sounds like this. You start with the open A and the third on the B. Go to the open high E. And then you go 3, 1, open, 3 on the B string. And then have second on the G to end it. I kind of do a couple pull-ons and hammer-offs. Hammer-ons and pull-ons. But the tab says to just pluck every note, so I guess it's up to you. That leads us into 135, which is pretty simple. So you have that you hold that second on the G string through part of 135. You slap, then you have that same note again, second on the G string, open low E, third on the B, you slap, and then open D. So with 134, that sounds like this. Okay? And 136, you have start with the second on the low E and the third on the B, and then open high E, you slap, and then have first on the B, second on the low E still, and then open B. And then end it with second pull off on the G string. Okay, now 137 you slap first, then you have second on the D, second on the low E, then open G. You slap, open D, slap again, back to open D. And then 138 you start with the but before we get into that, let's do a little recap. Starting at 131, we have okay, so starting on 138, we have familiar shape, 5 on the A and second on the D. You slap, and then just hit those individually. D, A, D, then slap, and then just the D string. So then 139 we have pretty similar. We start with A string on the 5th fret, 2nd on the D still. You slap, and then D, A, and then open D and G together. So you slap, and 6th on the A. We end it on 140 with open D, G, and B, and then 2nd on the G. So from 138 to the end, it sounds like this. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to play through the whole thing slowly with the tabs, and hopefully that helps clear any confusions up, and we'll finish up the lesson with part 8 whenever I can get around to recording it. So thank you for watching.